The night air crackled with an electric tension over New Terra's urban landscape. Neon signs flickered against sleek metallic buildings, casting rainbow-like reflections on the wet pavement. Officer June Park adjusted his patrol helmet, its augmented reality display scanning the crowded street with precision. His hover cruiser hummed softly as it glided between towering structures, its anti-gravity propulsion system barely making a sound. Just another routine night on the colony's perimeter, or so he thought. Something caught his eye. An elderly woman walked with surprising grace near the Quantum Research Facility's restricted zone. Her movements didn't match typical civilian patterns. While most colonists rushed with purpose, she moved deliberately, almost calculating. June's cybernetic implant, a standard-issue enhancement for law enforcement, began analyzing her gait, clothing, and surrounding environment. Her grey sweater seemed slightly out of sync with the facility's high-tech surroundings. No identification signals, no digital footprint, no authorized access markers. Potential breach protocol initiated, his helmet's AI whispered through neural interface. He activated the patrol cruiser's silent mode, smoothly descending within 20 meters of the woman. Her silver hair caught the moonlight, creating an almost ethereal silhouette against the facility's gleaming energy barriers. "Citizen, please halt and present identification," June commanded, his voice calm but firm. The woman didn't startle. She didn't even turn immediately. Instead, she moved with a deliberate slowness that suggested decades of practiced composure. When she finally faced him, June noticed something extraordinary. Her eyes, deep, intelligent, carrying wisdom that seemed to transcend human limitations, held no fear. They reflected something closer to amusement. "Good evening, officer." She spoke perfect colonial standard language, each word precise and measured. Nearby, holographic advertisements for interstellar travel and colony expansion danced silently. Automated service robots shuffled past, carrying maintenance equipment. A distant spacecraft's landing thrusters illuminated the sky with a brief, brilliant orange glow. June's training kicked in. Potential security threat. Unknown individual, restricted zone proximity. "Ma'am, this is a secured research area. Your presence here requires immediate verification," he stated, activating his communication band to run an instant background check. "CC's." Woman's slight smile suggested she knew something he didn't. Her hands, though aged, remained steady. No visible weapons, no threatening postures. "I'm here on official business," she responded, her tone carrying an authority that seemed to contradict her apparent vulnerability. Quantum research facilities weren't just ordinary buildings. They represented humanity's bleeding edge of technological innovation. Breaches could mean catastrophic consequences, economic collapse, technological setbacks, potential alien technology contamination. June's neural implant began rapid-fire processing, analyzing every microscopic detail. Clothing fibers, muscle movement, micro-expressions. Something wasn't adding up. "Please present your clearance documentation," he repeated, taking one step closer. The woman's eyes sparkled, not with fear, but with what seemed like anticipation. Distant robotic maintenance drone whirred overhead, its sensors sweeping the area. Colony security was always watching, always analyzing. June knew his next move would define the entire encounter. One wrong step could mean disciplinary action, or worse, compromising an entire research sector's security protocols. Little did he know, this elderly woman would transform his entire understanding of duty, hierarchy, and human potential. The quantum facility's energy barriers pulsed subtly in the background, a silent witness to an encounter that would soon rewrite everything June understood about his world. Encounter protocol initiated. Unexpected variables detected. The interrogation room hummed with soft blue ambient lighting, its temperature precisely controlled to minimize psychological stress. June watched the elderly woman sit across from him, her posture relaxed, yet somehow commanding standardized questioning protocols flickered on his neural display. Age approximately 68, height 1.65 meters, weight within standard deviation for her demographic, but something felt different. "Your name?" June asked, trying to sound professional. "Helen Coleman," she responded, her fingers resting calmly on the metallic table. No nervous twitching, no excessive blinking. Just pure, calculated composure. The room's quantum-dampening walls ensured no external signals could interfere with the interrogation. Advanced holographic recorders captured every microscopic movement, every subtle facial expression. "Purpose of being near the restricted quantum research facility?" June continued, accessing her minimal digital profile. Surprisingly, most of her records seemed intentionally blurred, encrypted, restricted. Each attempt to dive deeper met invisible firewalls that spoke of high-level security clearances. Helen's eyes held a story. Not just memories, but experiences that seemed to stretch beyond typical human limitations. She wasn't just watching June, she was studying him. "Research," she said simply. A distant spacecraft's communication burst momentarily interrupted the room's silence. Colony communication networks constantly buzzed with interstellar data exchanges. June's cybernetic implant began cross-referencing her statement. No matching research credentials, no current academic affiliations. Just cryptic, fragmented data points that made zero sense. "Specific research," he pressed, adjusting his stance. Helen's lips curved into a subtle smile. "Potential. Human potential." The phrase seemed deliberately vague. June had interviewed thousands of individuals, but something about her responses felt like a carefully choreographed dance of information and misdirection. A service robot outside the interrogation chamber's reinforced glass wall moved silently, carrying maintenance equipment. Its optical sensors briefly swept the room, capturing environmental data. "You understand unauthorized access to restricted facilities carries significant legal consequences," June emphasized, watching her reaction. "Consequences are relative." "Young officer," Helen responded, her voice carrying an unexpected depth. Especially when perspective changes. Her statement hung in the air, loaded with implications June couldn't immediately decode. The quantum facility represented humanity's most advanced research center. Discoveries made here could revolutionize interstellar travel, medical technology, energy production. One wrong move could mean technological catastrophe or unprecedented breakthrough. Helen seemed to represent something between those two extremes. June's neural implant continued analyzing. Micro-muscle movements, voice modulation, psychological response patterns. Everything about her suggested calculated precision. "You'll explain your presence," June stated, more of a command than a question. Helen leaned slightly forward. "Sometimes, young man, the most important discoveries happen when conventional protocols are challenged." Her words carried weight. Not just spoken language, but a profound underlying message that seemed to transcend immediate comprehension. Outside, colony lights danced across artificial landscapes. Robotic maintenance drones continued their perpetual surveillance. Spacecraft navigation signals crisscrossed the digital atmosphere. Something significant was happening, and June was just beginning to understand how little he actually knew. The interrogation had transformed from a standard procedure into something far more complex, far more dangerous. Questioning protocol, unexpected variables detected, recommended, continued observation. The communication terminal suddenly erupted with a cascade of encrypted signals. Holographic displays flickered, transforming the sterile sea. Interrogation room into a symphony of dancing light and digital information. June's neural implant began processing an avalanche of classified data streams. Security clearance protocols activated, revealing layers of information that seemed impossible moments ago. Helen, the seemingly harmless elderly woman, sat motionless, her eyes reflecting a profound understanding that went beyond typical human comprehension. The facility's quantum communication network pulsed with unprecedented activity. Encrypted channels normally reserved for top-tier military communications were suddenly accessing the interrogation room's database. "Accessing primary clearance protocols," a synthetic voice announced through the room's communication system. June watched in stunned silence as Helen's entire digital profile transformed. Blurred records crystallized into sharp, detailed documentation. Academic achievements, military service, classified research projects that spanned decades. Dr. Helen Coleman wasn't just some random elderly woman. She was the newly appointed Director of Interstellar Intelligence, a position that ranked several levels above June's current administrative clearance. Her personnel file revealed a history that defied conventional understanding. Multiple advanced degrees in quantum mechanics, artificial intelligence, and interstellar strategic planning. Classified missions that stretched across human colony networks. Experimental research programs that pushed the boundaries of human potential. The communication terminal displayed her latest appointment order. Signed by the highest-ranking officials in the Galactic Human Expansion Council, the document confirmed her unprecedented authority. June's world tilted on its axis. The woman he had attempted to arrest just hours ago was now his superior. Not just a superior, but potentially the most powerful strategic mind in human colonial history. Holographic displays continued dancing, revealing fragments of her incredible journey. Missions to unexplored star systems, strategic interventions in complex interstellar conflicts, research that challenged fundamental understanding of human capabilities. A robotic assistant entered the room, its metallic body moving with perfect precision. It placed a comprehensive dossier in front of June, confirming every extraordinary detail about Helen's background. "Verification complete," the synthetic voice announced. "Director Helen Coleman, Interstellar Intelligence Division." Confirmed. June's training kicked in, but his human emotions struggled to process the sudden transformation. The elderly woman who seemed vulnerable moments ago now radiated an authority that was both terrifying and magnificent. Distant spacecraft communication signals danced across the room's quantum communication networks. Robotic maintenance drones continued their perpetual surveillance outside, unaware of the profound moment unfolding within the interrogation chamber. Helen's eyes held no judgment. Instead, they reflected a deep, calculated understanding. She had orchestrated this entire encounter with a precision that defied conventional logic. "Sometimes," she spoke softly, "the most effective tests are the ones nobody realizes are happening." The room's ambient temperature seemed to shift. What began as a standard interrogation had transformed into something far more significant. A carefully designed assessment of human potential, strategic thinking, and adaptability. June realized he was no longer just an officer. He had become a participant in a much larger, more complex game. The quantum facility's energy barriers pulsed subtly in the background, a silent witness to a moment that would redefine everything June understood about duty, hierarchy, and human capability. Unexpected twist protocol. Complete. New mission parameters activated. The briefing room pulsed with holographic displays, showcasing star systems, complex mathematical algorithms, and strategic planetary maps. June stood at attention, his previous understanding of reality completely dismantled. Dr. Helen Coleman's presentation revealed humanity's most closely guarded secret, an imminent cosmic threat that traditional military structures couldn't comprehend. "Humanity faces challenges beyond conventional warfare," she explained, activating a holographic projection of mysterious energy signatures detected near the Andromeda boundary. Quantum-encrypted data streams revealed fragmented evidence of an approaching civilization, not hostile but fundamentally incompatible with human biological and technological frameworks. These entities operated on computational logic so advanced that standard communication protocols would fail instantly. June watched intricate holographic representations of alien mathematical constructs that seemed to breathe and move, defying traditional dimensional understanding. Strange crystalline structures representing potential communication methods danced across the display. "Your arrest wasn't random," Helen continued. "It was a carefully designed psychological assessment. Her advanced predictive algorithms had analyzed thousands of potential candidates. June's specific combination of intuition, procedural discipline, and adaptable thinking made him a perfect candidate for an extraordinary mission. Robotic intelligence analysis units surrounding the briefing room processed millions of data points per second. Quantum computers calculated potential interaction scenarios with the approaching alien intelligence. Distant spacecraft communication signals flickered across advanced communication networks. Maintenance drones continued their perpetual surveillance, unaware of the profound strategic discussions happening inside. The mission required someone who could think beyond traditional military training. Someone capable of understanding complex interdimensional communication strategies that went far beyond human conventional logic. Helen revealed classified research suggesting these approaching entities communicated through mathematical probability waves, a concept so advanced it would challenge fundamental human perception of intelligence and communication. "We're not preparing for war," she emphasized. "We're preparing for the most complex diplomatic engagement in human history." June's neural implant began receiving specialized training protocols, quantum communication decryption modules, advanced psychological adaptation algorithms, interdimensional logic processing systems. The briefing room's walls transformed, showing potential interaction scenarios with the approaching alien intelligence. Mathematical equations danced like living organisms, representing potential communication strategies that defied traditional linguistic understanding. Specialized robotic units stood ready, their advanced sensor arrays designed to process communication. Signals beyond human perceptual limitations. Each unit represented years of research, pushing the boundaries of technological understanding. "Your primary objective," Helen explained, "is to develop communication protocols that can bridge fundamentally different intelligence frameworks." The mission wasn't about combat. It was about understanding, about expanding human potential to communicate with intelligence structures so different that traditional approaches would fail catastrophically. June realized he was no longer just an officer. He was becoming a potential bridge between humanity and an entirely new form of cosmic intelligence. The quantum facility's energy barriers pulsed subtly, reflecting the complex mathematical representations dancing across holographic displays. Distant spacecraft navigation signals crisscrossed the digital atmosphere, carrying whispers of humanity's most extraordinary potential. "Are you ready?" Helen asked, her eyes reflecting decades of strategic planning and cosmic understanding. The room waited. The mission hung in delicate balance. Humanity's future rested on this moment of potential transformation. Mission Protocol. Activated. Interdimensional communication preparation initiated. 6 months had passed since that fateful night of unexpected recruitment. June stood aboard the Horizon 7, humanity's most advanced quantum adaptive research vessel, watching alien mathematical constructs dance across multidimensional holographic displays. The spacecraft moved silently through uncharted galactic regions, its quantum drive humming with unprecedented technological sophistication. Specialized robotic intelligence units monitored complex communication algorithms, processing billions of potential interaction scenarios per microsecond. Dr. Helen Coleman's strategic vision had transformed June from a routine colony patrol officer into humanity's most promising interdimensional communication specialist. His neural implants now processed mathematical probability waves that would have seemed incomprehensible months earlier. Distant star systems flickered like quantum-entangled jewels against the infinite darkness. Massive energy signatures from unknown civilizations pulsed just beyond traditional human perception. "Communication sequence initiating," announced the vessel's quantum AI system. Strange crystalline communication modules began resonating, creating complex vibrational patterns that transcended traditional linguistic frameworks. These weren't just signals. They were living mathematical conversations that breathed with intelligent complexity. June's specialized training allowed him to interpret these incredible communication streams. Where traditional military minds would see potential threats, he recognized intricate diplomatic opportunities. Each mathematical wave carried potential understanding, potential connection. Robotic intelligence units surrounded him, their advanced sensor arrays capturing microscopic variations in cosmic communication frequencies. Holographic displays transformed raw data into breathtaking visual representations of potential interstellar dialogue. Probability of successful communication, 73.6%, the Quantum AI reported. The Horizon 7's advanced systems represented humanity's most sophisticated attempt to reach beyond conventional understanding. Every system, every module designed to expand human potential beyond known limitations. Helen watched from a nearby observation deck, her experienced eyes reflecting decades of strategic planning. She had seen potential in June that no standard evaluation system could measure: adaptability, intuition, fundamental human curiosity. Suddenly, the vessel's communication modules began resonating with an extraordinary frequency. Unknown mathematical structures started forming, not as threats but as potential conversational frameworks. The alien intelligence wasn't aggressive. It was curious, exploratory, seeking understanding just as humanity sought connection. June's neural implants processed the incoming signals, translating complex probability waves into comprehensible communication patterns. Each moment represented a potential breakthrough in cosmic understanding. Specialized quantum computers worked alongside human intuition, creating a hybrid intelligence system that pushed beyond traditional technological limitations. Humanity wasn't just observing the universe, they were learning to communicate with its most profound, mysterious aspects. Distant spacecraft navigation signals crisscrossed the digital atmosphere. Maintenance robots continued their perpetual surveillance, unaware of the extraordinary moment unfolding. Initial communication sequence successful, announced the Quantum AI, its synthetic voice carrying a hint of excitement. Helen approached, June placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You're no longer just an officer," she said softly. "You're a bridge between known and unknown realities." The Horizon 7 continued its silent journey, carrying humanity's most extraordinary potential into uncharted cosmic territories. Mathematical waves of potential understanding danced around them, alive, breathing, promising. June realized this was more than a mission. This was humanity's next extraordinary evolutionary step. Interdimensional communication protocol, successfully initiated, new cosmic dialogues emerging.